Nikola Jokic voted MVP for the third time. Just the 9th player in NBA history to win league MVP 3 times. So we got to talk about this because already on Twitter, #robbed is already trending. Shaq already told him to his face that, look, congratulations, but SGA should have won. So with that being said, Jokic MVP. First question. Was he the right choice? Coach, we're going to go straight to you, straight to the source.
Well, like we were talking before the show, JT, it's really hard to figure out what factors in. Who votes? What are they voting on? You know, the salaries, the contracts are impacted. It's so convoluted, and there's too many people. I hate to be that angry old basketball guy, but like there's too many people involved that I'm not saying they don't know it, but like I don't know if we should all trust their perspective. That being said, Jokic, I'm not surprised at all that he won it, but Shaq had a good point. And I don't know if his point should be part of how you factor it in, but his point was, look, you did what you were expected to do. SGA got those guys to the number 1 seed in the West, which is a monster, and that was with a rookie center and you know just less continuity, less chemistry. Just you know, I understand the reasoning behind Jokic winning, and I understand Shaq thinking otherwise. And I like that Shaq told him as much because there's too many people just being too PC when they're talking to a star. And obviously Shaq doesn't have to worry about that because he's a star in his own right. So I get both sides, but Jokic he's whatever word that's more descriptive than unicorn. He's mesmerizing to watch, and I can't argue with him winning 3. I don't care about who won it last or how many he's won. He's different, man.
All right, so Coach is down with it. Don, you following suit?
Coach came out firing, but I love the words, you know, mesmerizing unicorn. I think that describes Jokic really well. And you know, not to take anything away from Jokic and Coach, I don't know how you feel, but I think you alluded to it. I don't care if you've won 4 in a row. If that 5th year, if you're the best player and you've earned that title again for a 5th year, you should get it. Now, with that said, and again, nothing to take away from Jokic, JT and I think we've had this question at the end of the regular season. Who did I think should win it? I thought it should be Luka Doncic. I mean, you look at his numbers. He's almost averaging 34, 10, and 10 a game. I mean, that is unbelievable. And I know he has the help from Kyrie, and Kyrie's had a phenomenal year. But you tell me another guy on that roster that could really take over any other team or be like a great third option that another team would love. I don't think there is. It's Luka and Kyrie. And I think last night at least validated in my mind my pick for Luka, because you saw when he's not even close to 100%, they got no chance against Oklahoma City. No chance. He's 100%. And this is no disrespect to Shai either, but if Luka's 100%, I think Dallas wins in 6 or 7. But with Luka not being even close to 100%, Dallas has no chance. Kyrie would need to score 60 now for Dallas to have a shot. And he's capable of doing it, but to do it for 4 games, I don't know. Like, how can he do that for 4 games in this series? He's going to have to steal all 4 now. Kyrie can get you 1, maybe 2, just like anybody, but Luka needs to be healthy. And I think last night showed that Luka's the MVP, even though Shai and Oklahoma City are number 1. Without Luka in there, Dallas is a play-in team, even with Kyrie.
I can't deal with y'all. You know what? I guess we're gonna start off this show on the wrong foot. This is bullshit.
Wait.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
No, I'm not gonna sit here and say Luka is my vote for MVP.
That's just him. He only
no. But what I'm saying is, Luka, I feel like people are just used to him being as nasty as he is on offense, but the whole narrative this year, at least the second half of the year, was like he's really committed to defense. I'm like, what else do you want? You know, like he's averaging the numbers that Bucci said, and then on top of that, he's committed to defense, and because he's committed to defense, they're a better team. So what was he? He finished third? What was it? Was he third or fourth?
Honestly, I don't even know, because the guy who won it, I don't think he should have won it. And let me preface this by saying this. Don, if you don't back me up on this, you just a hater. You're not telling the truth. There's not a bigger fan of Jokic out there than me. I'm the one that's been saying he's the best guy in the league for like the last 4 years. I've been saying that amidst all the Embiid love. But let's keep it.
You've been the president of his fan club. For
exactly.
Sure. I'll give you that.
Let's keep it real. What you just said, it should have been Shai. Because if that's the case, yes, if you're the best player in the league and you just happen to be that guy every year, then I'm fine with you getting it. Like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant should have more MVPs, but they don't. Why? Because they didn't vote for these guys multiple years specifically for this reason. So now when I look up, Jokic is going to have 3. And you know what I hate about it? There's no way you can't put him in the GOAT conversations when it comes to his position, because he always going to have them 3 MVPs. It don't matter how he got them, but he's always going to be up there now in the conversation. He's going to have something that can get him in the door, whether he's right or wrong in the conversation. It's the same way I feel about Steve Nash. I love the guy, great player, but one of the all-time great point guards of my era. But the fact that he got 2 MVPs and I believe one was unanimous, like, that's crazy to me. So it should have been Shai. You want to talk about, oh, yeah, all he did was get the Thunder to number 1. Let's not forget what the Thunder were. Shai wasn't even playing basketball in April most years. That's how bad the Thunder were. Shutdown candidate. With Sam Presti getting all the picks, they were a tanking team. And he took them to number 1 in the West. They were like some juggernaut on the rise last year. They were not. Number 1 in the West. You got the MVP in the West, defending national champion out there in the Nuggets. You got the GOAT in LeBron James. You got your boy who you think is MVP, Luka. And guess what? He got the team to number 1 seed over all those teams. Also over that disaster in Phoenix led by KD, which we'll talk about later. So he overcame all this stuff to get that team to the number 1 seed with his second best player being a guy that didn't even play. He's basically a rookie, another guy who should have been in jail at the beginning of the season. So he did all that. And you're still saying it should be Jokic. Like, this is robbery.
Yeah,
that's
you know what? You know what? You know what?
SGA should be the MVP. Like, what more he got to do? And this is a makeup because they gave Embiid the MVP when it should have went to Jokic. Like I told you. Like, this is ridiculous. I love the guy, but it's Shai. It should have been Shai.
JT, you go look at what Luka does for that team, and I'm not saying Shai doesn't do a lot.
I like Luka, but Luka not even in this conversation. He's not.
That you're basing that on seed, and I think that's the worst argument.
Basing that on seed, accomplishments, degree of difficulty. You got like Shai was averaging 21 points a game.
Okay, but you're saying Luka shouldn't even be in the conversation.
No, he's not between those two. He's not up there this year.
JT.
He's a distant third or fourth.
Can I counter what you're saying? And I hope Coach Turner backs me up here, being a coach, right? Mark Daigneault, of the head coach of Oklahoma City, he goes 10 deep in the playoffs. No one does that. You know what the saying is? The saying is trust 8 in the playoffs, play 7. What that means is that he's willing to play 10. It shows you how.
So it's Shai's fault that Jason Kidd is a shit coach.
Can I explain? What I'm saying is the fact that they have 10 guys in the NBA on an NBA roster that are legit, that can play in the playoffs, shows you it's not all about Shai. I'm sorry. Yes, he does a lot, but it's not all about Shai. It is all about Luka and Dallas. How Luka goes, they go. With Shai, Oklahoma City would still make the playoffs, still be a top 5 seed, even if he wasn't 100%.
When have they ever done that with him? They don't do that without him.
They were young. What did he do last year? They needed to develop. Other guys developed instead of just Shai. Shai's been doing this for a couple years now. You know what happened? Everyone else got better at Oklahoma City. Sorry, JT.
I agree with you, Don, but I don't think that your argument helps your case, because, like, so are you saying that because he played 10 guys, a lot of other people contributed, so he wasn't as much of a factor as
No. What I'm saying is countering what JT said.
What he's trying to say,
he had to overcome
everything by himself, so the degree of difficulty for him is more.
For speaking.
So there, he should be the MVP.
Thanks for speaking for me. That's not what I was saying.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
He had to overcome all these hurdles. What I'm saying is he has a lot of more help now than what people realize. And so what Luka needs to do night in, night out, to get the 34, 10, and 10. I mean, why are we just blowing over a guy that scores 34 and gets a triple-double? Every other year with Harden and Westbrook, it's an MVP. It's a wrap. But Luka can never seem to get it either. I don't know. I don't know what else Luka needs to do.
All right, so the final breakdown is this. I said it should have been Shai. Coach, who would you have picked? Jokic or somebody else?
You asking me?
Yeah.
I would go Jokic.
Okay, Don, and you're going Luka?
Yep. Wow,
right.
three different.
I don't agree with it, but okay.
I want to say though, like the thing about Shai is an interesting argument. Like the reason I said that I agree with your point, but it may not be helping the Luka argument is because the NBA is so contingent upon rotations and like playing these guys together and all these analytics. So I find it really, in some ways, more impressive because the rotations that Oklahoma plays and the amount of guys that they play is not normal. So you've got a guy who doesn't always have the consistent, I know this guy, I'm gonna be playing until the 3-minute mark, and then these guys, he's playing with different people, and he's still having that much of an impact on the team and on the league, even though it's not your typical 8-man rotation, like you said, play 8, trust 7 or something like that. So I don't know. Shai's up next, I think. And I think Luka Doncic, I think there's something weird about, I never even thought about it much myself until you guys mentioned it, but like, maybe I'm missing it and I'm not paying attention, but like, I don't feel like he gets into the conversation ever. And he should be in the conversation every year, just off of his individual performances alone. So it's tough. We got to do some digging and see what is truly the criteria and who the hell is voting.